thanks for checking out my channel. Today's video is about soloing and making melodies with just 5 fingers. It's this wacky idea I have that by constraining yourself to a smaller number of possibilities, your creative energy is going to expand. So we're going to take a look at this, and I'm going to try to keep it simple in this very first video that I'm going to do about this. There will be others, I think. So bear with me and let's see if people get something out of this. The idea is that you can in fact create very impactful solos and melodies with just 5 notes, and then it really comes down to what you're doing within those 5 notes, either rhythmically or the note order, and I'll talk a little bit about that. And there'll be much more on this topic, so stay tuned. All right, we're going to do this in E flat minor, pentatonic. And those are the notes that we're going to use in this making of a solo, making of a melody exercise. There's the octave, but I'm going to restrict myself in this segment to just these 5 notes using just these 5 fingers. So every finger is attached to a note: E flat, G flat, A flat, B flat, and D flat. The left hand is going to carve out a little bit of a bass pattern. It's going to maintain this E flat foundation, and in a little while we're going to change, and instead of these notes we'll shift up to something like this. So you can see how that construct offers a new set of tonal combinations. So for now we're sticking with this. Alright, so with that little quick 4-bar, or whatever that was, you can see that I did in fact adhere to this rule of only playing these notes with those fingers. And I tried to keep it pretty simple. I think I had a couple of grace notes. For fans of Chick Corea, you'll recognize that effect. This sound that I'm using is something I came up with that combines a little bit of organ sound with a couple of weird synth patches, one of which has kind of a dual oscillator with part of it tuned up a 5th, I think. I think that's right. Anyway, moving ahead, we're going to shift to a different tonal grouping for the right hand. We're going to keep the same thing going with the left, and it's going to be those sorts of things. And I'll try to keep this simple for folks who want to dig into this and see what their possibilities are. Without the rhythm, let me just say that you've got all these great combinations. You can go 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5. You can start on any one of these fingers, one of these notes. Let's say you want to start on 3. Let's say you can only do jumps of more than just a third. So the exercise really is about being constrained creatively to this very firm construct with these notes being played by only those fingers, and it kind of does a trick on you where you've got to fight against that by looking at all the possibilities within that. And if you do this on a regular basis, it does in fact increase your improv ability. And it's not just the note order, it's also what kind of rhythm you're applying to this. You can do. You can add triplets. Alright, let's do this again with a different set of notes in a different key. This is going to be F minor pentatonic, and here are the notes. 5 notes, 5 fingers, that's it. I am glued to those notes. I cannot, according to this rule, change my note or hand position. But I'm going to give myself one little break. I'm going to say that I can come down and hit this E flat. It's in the scale, but it'll just give me a slightly wider group of notes. So in this case, my thumb is representing the root. So here we go. Let's give this a try and see what happens. Alright, so that worked pretty much like the other example did with the E flat business. And then we also did an E flat that had the 5 notes beginning on G flat. And so you get the idea. You can pick any 5 notes. You could even say you'll do a suspended chord. And then you can add an extra note. That 4 finger is begging to play that F right there. And we can beef up the tempo, and let's see what we've got here. Let's try something a little bit weirder, and I'll try to find a different sound. There a little bit, but you get the idea. In this case, those are my notes, and the tonal root could be here or it could be here. or here. It could also be there. But the same thing applies. I'm restricting myself to those 5 notes for the most part, and being played with those 5 fingers. And the key to this is that you begin to think in terms of note order or finger order, since they're one and the same in this case. The other thing that comes out of this is better finger independence. You can begin to see how things like that can happen more easily if you're playing along to these ideas and not just doing some boring rote exercise to achieve that. If that's your thing, go ahead, but this kind of makes it more fun. Or pick another group of notes. Hey, thanks for watching the whole video. I know this concept was a little odd, but this is the first of what should be more than a few about this topic, because it really neatly encapsulates improvisation and creating melodies on the fly. And I really am very attached to this idea of creative constraints, and I have a blog that I've done on this, and I will leave that in the comments so people can find that. It's in the Jimprod Music website. So anyway, more to come, but thanks for checking this out. I hope this wasn't too weird. I tried to keep it short and simple on this first go-round. Thanks so much, and please subscribe and like if you can. It really does help the channel grow. Thanks so much.